Dear students and my teacher friends, Namaskar. I welcome you to the presentation lecture on collections of nervous tissue. Now, what is the meaning of this thing, collections of nervous tissue? So, here in this lecture, we are going to discuss about the components of nervous tissue, what the nervous tissue is made up of, which are the components that are present in the nervous tissue. So, in the nervous tissue, there present the ganglia, there present the tract, then the nerves are present, then the gray matter and the white matter. So all this component we are discussing one by one. So let's start with the ganglia. Now what are the ganglia? So ganglia are the cluster of the neuronal cell body. And the cell body, we know the cell body, the other name for the cell body, they are also known as the soma or the perkaryon. So the cluster of the soma, cluster of the cell bodies, they are known as the ganglion, and the plural is ganglia. So ganglion refers to the cluster of neuronal cell bodies, and this cluster of cell bodies, they are present in the peripheral nervous system, PNS. And as we have mentioned earlier, that these ganglia, they are closely associated with the cranial and spinal nerve. So the ganglia, they are connected with the cranial and the spinal nerve. And in the contrary to this, in contrast to this ganglia, nucleus is a cluster of neuronal cell bodies, and this nucleus, they are located in the CNS. So either it is a ganglion or it is a nucleus. Both these structures, they are the cluster of neuronal cell body, but the ganglion is present in the peripheral nervous system, and nucleus, on the contrary, it is present in the CNS, that is brain and spinal cord. Okay, now some more information regarding the ganglia. So the shape of the ganglia are typically ovoid structure, and in the structure of ganglia, neuronal cell bodies are present. Then supporting glial satellite cells are present, which are surrounding these cell bodies. Then the delicate connective tissue is present, and all this structure, finally they are surrounded by a denser capsule, and this denser capsule is also made up of connective tissue. So in the structure of ganglia, we can say neuronal cell bodies plus glial satellite cell plus delicate connective tissue, and all this, they are surrounded by a denser capsule of connective tissue. Now this ganglia, they function as, they serve as relay station. So this relay station or the center transmit the nerve impulses, and in the ganglia at least one nerve enters into the ganglia, and one nerve, another nerve is exiting. One nerve emerges out from each ganglion, and depending upon the direction of the nerve impulse, in which direction the nerve impulse is propagating, the ganglion are classified into sensory ganglion or the autonomic ganglion. Now in the figure I am showing you, for example in this figure, first of all, what this figure is all about. So in this is actually the histological slide for the ganglia, and all these notations G, C, then F. So you can go through this notation. For example, G for sensory ganglion, then C is a connective tissue capsule, and F is the nerve fibers. Okay, now here in the B figure, okay, so S, in this B figure, S is the satellite cell, glial cell, and all this are the cell body. Okay, so around the cell body, so here you see B figure. Higher magnification shows the small rounded nuclei of glial cell called satellite cell. Okay, and they are enveloping, they are surrounding neuronal pericardion. Then this figure, in this figure also you see the notations C, then S, then N and L. So N for neuronal cell body, L for lipofuscin, and we have already discussed about this lipofuscin. Okay, then the satellite cell S, and C is the connective tissue capsule. So all these three slide, they are showing the structure and the components of the ganglia. Okay, now in this figure, satellite cell around neurons of ganglia in PNS. So S is showing the satellite cell, and N and L and S. So here, okay, the key is given S for satellite cell, N for pericardion of neuron, okay, L for lipofuscin. Then this figure, okay, figure B, N and S. So what this figure is? So this figure is the immunofluorescence staining of satellite cell, and N is the neuronal cell body. Okay, so satellite cell around neurons of ganglia in the PNS. Then now let's talk about the axons, bundle of axon. So together many axon, that means many axon together, they form the bundle, and the bundle of axons are known as the nerve. So in other word, we can say nerve is the bundle of axon, and nerves are located in the peripheral nervous system. Cranial nerve, cranial nerve connect the brain to the periphery. Now cranial nerve, they originate from our brain, and they propagate the nerve impulse to various organs of our face. Let's say the nerve impulse from our brain reaches to our eye, nose, then ear, tongue, and from all this organ also nerve impulse reaches to the center of the brains. So the nerves, either they are the motor nerves or the sensory nerve or mixed type nerves. So there are the cranial nerve. So the cranial nerve, they are connecting the brain to the various organs of our face, let's say. Okay, then the spinal nerves. Okay, so spinal nerve is act as the connecting link between the spinal cord and periphery. Periphery means the body organ or the body tissues. And spinal cord, they are connected with this spinal nerve. So the nerve impulse from the spinal cord propagate to the periphery, or from peripheral body organ the nerve impulse reaches to the spinal cord. Okay, now what is tract? So tract is the bundle of axon, and tract is located in the CNS. So now is a bundle of axon located in the PNS. Tract is a bundle of axon and it is located in the CNS. And this tract interconnects neurons in the spinal cord and brain. So in other word, we can say between the spinal cord and brain, the tract is present. Okay. So this is the difference between the nerve and tract. Now in the figure I am showing you the structural of peripheral nerve. So here in the figure left hand side, this one, in this figure peripheral nerve is shown, and if you observe closely you will find the axons are present. There are many axons. So this axon is shown out. Okay, and around the surface of axon myelin sheath is present, and around this myelin sheath connective tissue layer is present, that is known as endoneurium. Okay, so many axon together they are forming the bundle. So this bundle of axon is known as the fascicle. Okay, and the connective tissue which is present around the fascicle is known as the perineurium. Okay, so this one is the fascicle, this one is the fascicle, this one is fascicle. So here we can see the three fascicle, and on the surface of these three fascicle, surrounding this three fascicle, we can see the connective tissue is present, and that connective tissue is known as the epineurium. And inside the epineurium you can see the blood vessel, the artery and veins are also present. Okay, so this is the structure of peripheral. Now I am showing you the structure of tract. Okay, so for example, in this figure, see, first I am showing you the key for the tract. This is the key. So the name of the tract is dorsal column medial lemniscus tract, yellow color, then spinothalamic tract, brownish yellow color, and corticospinal tract, red color. So this one, and this one, these are the tract. Okay, and this is the brain's cross section. So here you see where exactly the tract, in which center of the brain the tract are reaching. Okay, and here in this figure also, this one is the spinal cord. So we can say between the spinal cord and the brain the tract are present. The name of the tract, this one is the dorsal column medial lemniscus tract. Okay, then this dotted line, 1 minute, this tract. Okay, this tract is the spinothalamic thalamic tract. Okay, then the motor messages. See, motor nerve impulses descend the corticospinal tract and relay along more axon to the arm and head muscle. Okay, so we are not going into this, but we are just remembering about the tract, name of the tract if you can remember, and what is tract and where they are located. Okay, so these are the tract and this is the key, and you see where the tract are reaching in the brain. So this is the difference between the tract and nerve. Now we are discussing about the gray matter and white matter. What is gray matter? What is white matter? See, when we dissect brain or spinal cord, so when we dissect brain and spinal cord, we will find that some region look white and some region they appear gray. So the white region are, the color is white and they are also glistening. Glistening means used about wet surface to shine. The term, the word glisten is used for wet surfaces which are shining. Okay, so the whitish glistening matter is known as the white matter, and another region of brain and spinal cord appears gray, so that matter is known as gray matter. Now what this white matter and gray matter is made up of, is composed of. So first in the figure I am showing you, for example over here in this figure, this is the brain and this one is the spinal cord they are showing, and you see in which plane this section of brain. So this is the frontal plane through brain, so you can imagine how we are viewing, which part of the brain we are looking at. So in the figure you can see this one is the white matter and this one is the gray matter. This is the gray matter and this one is the white matter. And for the spinal cord, this one is the white matter and this one is the gray matter. Now what is there present in white matter? So white matter is made up of, white matter is composed primarily of myelinated axon. So in the white matter myelinated axons are present, and the whitish color of myelin gives white matter its name. So the white color or the glistening white appearance of white matter, for that myelin is responsible. Whereas in case of gray matter, so gray matter of the nervous system contains neuronal cell bodies. Okay, in the gray matter neuronal cell bodies are present, dendrites are present, unmyelinated axons are present, axon terminals are present, and neuroglia are present. And gray matter looks gray because the nasal body impart a gray color, and in gray matter there is little or no myelin at all. Blood vessels are present both in gray matter and white matter. Okay. Now here in the figure, in this figure, okay, so here you see the gray matter is present toward outside, toward the periphery, and in the central part you can see the presence of white matter. But contrary to this, in the cross section of spinal cord, white matter is present outside, and this white matter is surrounding the central gray matter. So gray matter is present inside and white matter is present outside in the structure of spinal cord. Now the shape of gray matter in spinal cord is look like the letter H. Okay, it looks like H, or the gray matter appears like the butterfly. So gray matter, the shape of the gray matter is either either it is the H shape or it is having the shape of the butterfly. So it depends how imaginative you are. Okay, so that's why they are writing. See, the inner core of gray matter. Okay, so depending on how imaginative you are, is shaped like a butterfly or letter H in transverse section. Okay, and in the brain, the thin shell of gray matter covers the surface of the largest portion of the brain, that is the cerebrum and cerebellum. So in the cerebellum and in the cerebrum and cerebellum, towards the surface, the gray matter is present and it is covering the internal white matter. Okay, so few more figures I would like to show you. For example, in this figure you can clearly see that in the structure of brain, white matter is present inside and gray matter is present outside. Okay, in this figure also, white matter inside, gray matter outside. Here, this one is the cross section of spinal cord. So in the center you can see black color portion, H letter or butterfly shape, gray matter, and the surrounding white portion is the white matter. What is white matter and gray matter? White matter axon surrounds the central gray matter. Gray matter, neuron bodies, interconnected dendrites, and synapses are present in gray matter. So, with this, we have completed this presentation lecture. I hope, for example, this was the title of our lecture. So here in this lecture we have discussed the various components of nervous tissue, collections of nervous tissue. Here we have discussed about the ganglion, then we have discussed about the nucleus, then we have learned about the nerve and tract, then we have discussed the gray matter and white matter. So with this we have completed this presentation lecture. I hope that you have enjoyed this presentation lecture, and I also hope that this presentation lecture will be helpful in your exam preparation and also in your studies. My name is Manish Kosti sir. I am from Ahmedabad, India. Bye bye. Namaste.